Right now at 6, searching for solutions, how Wisconsin leaders are tackling childcare shortages.
And decades in the making, the long-awaited opening day for Eau Claire's new transit center.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now. It's 6. I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. State officials in Eau Claire today to talk about childcare.
Yeah, News 8 Now's Grace Monk is in the newsroom with the details. Grace.
State secretaries met with Eau Claire business owners to discuss the impact childcare has on the state's economy and workforce. The discussion focused on the successes and barriers employers face in providing childcare-related benefits. A survey from the Department of Children and Families found that 64% of employers believe childcare benefits help them keep employees, but say they're hard to implement because of the cost. The department secretary says their goal is to find a way to help employers overcome that barrier.
You see these intersections between all these different workforce sectors and their need for childcare. And that's the conversation we're really having here today. You see businesses, manufacturers, we've got cleaning businesses, agriculture, folks coming together saying, these are our needs, this is how we want to be partners.
Pirtle was joined by secretaries from the Department of Workforce Development and the Department of Administration. He says they're also looking into the challenges families and childcare providers face. Reporting in the newsroom, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
A former Hudson teacher is pleading guilty to child sex crimes. Madison Bergman entered guilty pleas to child enticement and sexual misconduct by school staff as part of a plea deal. Investigators say Bergman exchanged more than 35,000 texts with an 11-year-old student. The criminal complaint details of kissing and sexual contact. Sentencing is December 22nd. An 18-year-old La Crosse man is in custody after injuring a woman in a hit-and-run accident. David Resto is accused of failing to stop at a stop sign and striking another vehicle at King and 16th Street Friday morning. Police say he was driving at excessive speed and caused serious injuries to the driver of the other vehicle. After allegedly fleeing, police found Resto's phone inside the car. He was arrested Saturday at the Northside Oktoberfest grounds. A preliminary hearing is set for October 6th.
Missy Hughes is joining the race for Wisconsin governor.
And the Viroqua native served as the state economic development director under Governor Evers. She's also worked as an executive at Organic Valley Dairy Cooperative. The experience, she says, will help create an economy suited for all Wisconsinites.
I think what Wisconsinites are really looking for is someone who understands the economy, who understands how you can have an impact and do everything that is needed to be done to support Wisconsin's everyday concerns around grocery bills and paying those bills, making ends meet.
She joins fellow Democrats Sarah Rodriguez, David Crowley, Kelda Roys, and Francesca Hong in the race.
A wreck on the road in Farmington. A truck carrying corn silage tipped over. It happened on County Highway VV near the Jackson and La Crosse County line. No word on any injuries or a crash cause.
In La Crosse, the first public sessions on the city administrator position happens tomorrow. One is at noon, then at 6 at the Black River Beach Neighborhood Center at 1433 Rose Street. The position has drawn some heat. It would take over some mayoral duties and pay in the range of $190,000.
Eau Claire's new transit center opens today with free rides for passengers. That first bus departing at 5:45 this morning. The project started with a temporary center in 1985 and became a reality through a $5 million federal grant and city tax incremental financing. The transit center features housing and a parking garage above, expected to be completed by 2026.
It has been a long time coming, and I've been on council since 2018, and this was awarded to the city of Eau Claire. We got a grant from the federal government, actually wrong kind, and now we're finally the buses are rolling and the first part is opening. There's still a few more parts to come through, but it's very exciting.
Residents and employees are celebrating the opening as Eau Claire Transit marks its 50th anniversary.
Well, we're just about a week into fall, but we're saying hello to summer again. It's warm and 80s for most of the week, Greg.
Yeah, you didn't need that coffee too much on National Coffee Day. Probably more iced coffee this afternoon, but still, it's going to be warm and potentially close to record. We'll break that down. Otherwise, it's been a very warm but dry day. This is dry outside, too. Not much moisture associated with this. Still in the 80s overall. Yeah, we had a record high. We're tied one. Kind of snuck up on me in La Crosse. 87 so far, and 87 is the record. One of the few days it's been kind of more in the mid-80s. A lot of these are probably upper 80s to low 90 record highs, but overall, very dry, very warm regardless. The front to the north is going to stay there. We have high clouds, a little cloud cover that's down towards the plains. That's what we're going to see a lot more in the day as a disturbance lifts kind of northwest of us. So expect that later tonight, but overall very mild conditions, only 66 at 11 p.m. Very warm. Similar story for La Crosse and Eau Claire too. It's going to stay warm, a few passing cloud cover, but otherwise no issues going on. 67 as we get closer to 10, 11 p.m. Now coming up later, we'll kind of break down if we're ever going to see any more fall-like temperatures in the forecast, and if we see any rain as we stretch on for another week here too. All that a bit later.
All right, thank you, Greg. Well, it's a sure sign that Oktoberfest is over. Today, volunteers taking down the stages, tents, and tables. According to the Fest's executive director, around 48,000 people visited the four-day fest. Oktoberfest wrapped up its 64th year with free admission yesterday, and organizers say they're already planning for next year. Now, the real finale for Oktoberfest, though, is the annual Ladies' Day luncheon, where past and present Mrs. Oktoberfest invite festers to mingle with the royal family and reflect on the week of fun. Organizers say it's a great way to close everything out.
Like the exclamation mark at the end. And it's more fun because these ladies and gentlemen, several men come too, they get to have fun and relax and have a beautiful lunch.
In addition to food, drinks, and fun, attendees enjoyed 2 interactive stories by comedian and author Lisa Olson.
Well, La Crosse Summertime Staple is getting ready to close for the season. In a Facebook post, Rudy's Drive-In announced they will close in about 2 weeks. They're open from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. The Sparta location is already closed for the season.
Coming up tonight, the federal funding fight continuing on Capitol Hill. President Trump's meeting with congressional leaders as the government shutdown deadline grows nearer.
And Walmart's CEO reveals how artificial intelligence will reshape work at the world's largest retailer.
Tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning, the government getting closer to shutting down, what it means for you, plus the breakfast favorite that could soon cost too much, and Costco's holiday item that has people freaking out when we see you at 5 a.m.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why not shop where that's valued? Blaine's Farm and Fleet is an original family-owned company where you can find the quality products you need at unbeatably low prices. Like these LED Halloween light bursts. Sale priced at just $19.99. 5-quart jugs of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil as low as $26.99. Plus, we offer Blaine's best price promise, guaranteeing you'll always find the lowest price with us or we'll match it. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
You already know. Derek Van Orden voted for the largest Medicaid cut in history. A quarter of nursing homes forced to close. Rural hospitals in Wisconsin at risk of closure. And tens of thousands of Wisconsinites could lose health coverage. But did you know Van Orden's vote could raise electricity costs in Wisconsin $300 a year? Also, Van Orden could give wealthy elites another tax break. Tell Derek Van Orden, stop making us pay more.
It's good to know your Touchstone Energy Cooperative is always there. For generations, we've powered the growth of our community. Today, our commitment is stronger than ever to provide affordable energy you can depend on and keep you connected to what matters most, now and for generations to come. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
Furnish your home with the Forest at Black River Furniture Outlet, Wisconsin's best priced furniture store. Browse cozy Amish rockers, customizable easy sofas made in Wisconsin, and stunning handmade dining sets in hickory, walnut, aspen, and barnwood. Shop pantries, counter bars, gun cabinets, and more. Style your space this season with our cabin rug collection, multiple sizes available. Swing by the bed shed for rustic bedroom sets, bunk beds, and Amish-made office furniture. Family and veteran owned. Visit Black River Furniture Outlet this summer.
Well, shutdown showdown on Capitol Hill. Congressional leaders have met with President Trump at the White House today as the government funding deadline approaches. After the discussions, Democrats and Republicans remain divided on key issues. Democrats are pushing for an extension of expiring health insurance subsidies, while Republicans want a short-term spending bill that would fund the government until mid-November.
We have very large differences on health care and on their ability to undo whatever budget we agree to. Their bill has not one iota of Democratic input. That is never how we've done this before.
Republicans argue Democrats are introducing unrelated issues into the funding negotiations.
There's a reason that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries have come out here, stomped the feet, saying that they can't go along with this. They're trying to bring in extraneous issues.
If Congress doesn't send legislation to President Trump by tomorrow night, the government faces a temporary shutdown. Thousands of federal workers could be furloughed, and non-essential services would be disrupted.
Well, Walmart CEO Doug McMillon says artificial intelligence will change the way people work at Walmart. He says AI will eliminate some jobs, create new ones, and alter others. At a recent conference in Walmart's Arkansas headquarters, McMillon said almost every job will be affected in some way. Authorities are investigating a deadly attack at a Mormon church in Grand Blanc, Michigan, leaving 4 victims dead and 8 others injured.
A gunman was killed by officers responding to the scene. Lana Zach is in Grand Blanc with the latest.
Investigators say they have been working around the clock, interviewing more than 100 witnesses and collecting evidence as they are trying to ascertain a motive.
This was an evil act of violence.
Law enforcement officials said Monday they did not find any more victims in the rubble of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan.
We still are in the process of clearing out that church, but at this time, everyone is accounted for.
Police identified the deceased suspect as 40-year-old Marine veteran Thomas Jacob Sanford from nearby Burton, Michigan. Police say he rammed a vehicle into the church Sunday morning, then opened fire on at least 100 worshipers before using an accelerant to set the building on fire.
The FBI is calling this an act of targeted violence. When asked if terrorism applies, the agent in charge said that once investigators learn more, they may choose to use different language.
We are continuing to receive leads. We're continuing to run down all information. And once we're able to ascertain definitively what we have, that's when we'll make those statements. But as of right now, this is an act of violence.
Once I saw the gun and hear him start shooting, it was just a lot of fear.
Paul Kirby heard the bang when the vehicle crashed into the church. He was part of a group that ran outside to help, only to find themselves face to face with the shooter. Kirby says the community is checking on each other, making sure everyone is okay.
Law enforcement officials are also looking into those improvised explosive devices that were found during the investigation. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has ordered flags to be flown at half staff in honor of the victims. Lana Zach, CBS News, Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Another mass shooting happened over the weekend in South Carolina. Police say a man pulled up to a dock on a boat armed with an assault rifle and opened fire on diners at a pub. 3 people were killed and 5 others injured. The suspect is 40-year-old Nigel Edge. Records show he was a decorated Marine combat veteran and Purple Heart recipient and may have suffered from PTSD.
Folks deserve to be and feel safe in their towns, whether they're enjoying a dinner or praying in church or coming home from work. We must do better to keep people safe.
Edge did not enter a plea in court today and is being held without bond.
We will have more news ahead.
But first.
Yeah, definitely is going to feel more like summer for at least the next week, maybe through the weekend. So we'll break down what that means for temperatures and if we got any rain in the forecast. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Wait, you gave yourself a flu vaccine?
At your house?
How?
FluMist, it's a flu vaccine you give yourself. Yeah, at home. You do what at home?
FluMist Home. What? FluMist Home. A vaccine delivered to your home? Yes.
Give yourself a shot? No, it's a mist that goes up my nose. My mom does it.
And it works? Yeah, it's the same flu vaccine you get at the doctor's or pharmacy. So easy. Even you can do it, Chief.
FluMist is a nasal spray flu vaccine for people aged 2 to 49. Don't get FluMist if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its components, eggs, or to other flu vaccines. Do not give FluMist to children or adolescents taking aspirin therapy. Tell your healthcare provider about all your medical conditions, including asthma, wheezing, or Guillain-Barré syndrome, and about all the medicines you take. Runny or stuffy nose, sore throat, or fever may occur.
So I can order FluMist online?
Yeah, just go get your phone.
Get flu protection without the injection. Order at flumist.com.
Hi, Laura. New headphones?
Yeah, it's the snoring. I can't sleep.
Ah, I've got a solution for that. Meet me at Slumberland.
I see you found the Tempur Ergo Smart Base.
It provides a holistic sleep experience and snore response technology. It adjusts as soon as snoring is detected.
It works.
What?
You were talking in your sleep and said you're going to buy me this smart base.
Yeah, I did. Stop stressing, start sleeping with Slumberland's 365-night sleep guarantee.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Masterforce provides ample storage for all of your tools. Made from durable materials, Masterforce keeps your tools safe and ready to use. Get an 11% rebate on all Masterforce tool storage. Protect your boats and recreational vehicles with FVP, RV, and Marine antifreeze. It has burst-proof protection down to -50 degrees, keeping you protected against freezing temperatures. Get a gallon for $2.49 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
When you need a truck to get you from the job site to the campsite, drive your story with a new Ram from Pischke Motors.
Get your Ram now during the Drive into Fall sales event. Stop into Pischke Motors to save over 15% off MSRP on a 2025 Ram 1500. Plus, get 3.9% financing for 72 months. Ram trucks are built to serve power. So get in a Ram today. Hurry in because this offer ends September 30th. Go to Pischke.com, Pischke Motors West Salem, or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
Yeah, we're basically 80 degrees for quite a while, and really we're at the point where we see our average last 80 degrees. So obviously this year it's going to go above average, or at least later than what we should be, given that it's around September 30th too. But records go all the way to the end of October where you could see 80. So not unheard of to see these 80 degrees, but it's going to be kind of unheard of to see this long of a stretch of many of them actually coming up. Right now, if we kind of zoom in, there's a front that was dealing up to the north. Really, as then you see all the news with the hurricanes or the tropical storms, like Sue, they're kind of right there currently too towards the southeast. And if you want a further update, we have a hit that's actually on our website that you can actually see the forecast of what these two are actually going to do and what impact they have for the East Coast. But obviously that's all they're going to impact. It's just barely some of the East Coast. So overnight tonight, we do have a little bit more high clouds, more mild for some areas depending on location. Generally going to be above average, mid 50s or upper 50s. So overall, a mild start to the Tuesday. And really the big difference between today and tomorrow is just a lot more high clouds out there that'll block a little bit more of the sun. So temperatures, although still well above average, maybe a degree or two or a couple below what we saw today, given it'll be more in the low to mid 80s, maybe a few areas upper 70s, but still very warm too. And going overall for the next several days, it's just the high cloud cover that we're going to deal with. There's going to be a warm front right to the north associated with the system that'll be well to our west. It's going to lift north, and all it does is change the flow around till we get a lot of this high cloud cover that'll continue over through Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Tuesday night to Wednesday, and even into Thursday. It thickens up a little bit, but overall we're just going to see that right there coming through about Thursday 8 a.m. That's about the end of it there. So it just blocks out a little bit more sun. It should stay dry. That precipitation chance stuff you see out there should remain out to the Twin Cities area, and even there it's kind of light too, given that we're going to be very dry. That's what you're going to see for the next several days, and it will adjust our temperatures downward a little bit, given Wednesday will be a little bit cooler, upper 70s, low 80s, still well above average, but it will be a little bit cooler than we've had today. And that kind of goes in the story as we go towards Thursday too, although we start to come up because the cloud cover kind of goes away. So now we're more back into the low to mid 80s. And as right now, besides today, the warmest day of the 8-day forecast is probably going to be Friday, given a lot of areas will be mid to upper 80s, and we could have that opportunity for some warmer locations out to the west or to the south that could push the 90-degree mark once again. And you can see the drop off to the west. There is a boundary that'll be sitting up there to the Dakotas. The problem with that, it's not going to make its way. It's very slowly through our area through the weekend, and it's fairly weak or limited moisture. So there it is right there. Friday, it's going to kind of slowly kind of push to the southeast, open up at least some precipitation chances come Saturday, but it's really going to be probably for the northern areas that are going to see some of that. And then it's going to kind of stall out and kind of sit there Saturday night into Sunday. And I think eventually by some point Sunday into Monday, it's going to come through. That's our precipitation chances, but it's not that great given as it moves through. It doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with. So it's mainly a dry forecast minus that chance this weekend. And our temperatures do go back down early next week where that front does eventually come through at some point on Monday to give us probably our best shot, but even that's pretty low. And by Tuesday, we could be approaching average temperatures, and that would be about the mid to upper 60s at that point. So It's a nice long stretch. We could see some records, we could not, but it's going to be a dry and warm stretch, at least through the weekend right now, it looks like.
All right, plan accordingly, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg. Coming up next in sports, a tie for the ages. A recap from the Wild primetime game last night in Dallas. We hear from the Packers QB1 and the former Cowboys edge rusher. Jacob is next.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
The Medicare annual enrollment period runs from October 15th to December 7th. With so many choices, it can be overwhelming. At Strive Medicare, we cut through the confusion, helping you find the plan that's right for you. We're your local Medigap insurance advisors right here in the Social Security building in downtown La Crosse, and ready to answer the questions face-to-face or over the phone. Don't go it alone this annual enrollment season. Call or visit Strive Medicare today.
Please be our guest and find an experience. Find new friends. Find more than you expected by finding more than just a concert. Now please, find your seat. And find yourself at the Symphony this October. Get your season tickets at lacrossesymphony.org.
You may not realize it, but Boyers
and Pleasning have a lot in common.
We used to be neighbors at West and South Avenue.
Then we moved south to Ward Avenue.
And we moved north to George and Gillette. But we still have a lot in common, like comfort.
Like the comfort of a Pleasning taco.
The comfort of a Boyers sofa.
Pleasning chili.
A Boyers love seat.
Pleasning rubs.
The ultimate in comfort. A Boyers recliner.
And a Pleasning Bloody Mary.
In 1969, Taco John's combined Western traditions with Mexican flavors and created West-Mex. More than 50 years later, it still tastes like a good idea. West-Mex meals start at just $5, only at Taco John's.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Covering all the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Well, after one of the most entertaining NFL games you'll see all season, things concluded in, let's say, odd fashion as the Packers and Cowboys ended in a 40-40 tie last night. Green Bay took an early 13-0 lead with 2 touchdowns by Romeo Doubs. Dallas then shifted momentum by blocking an extra point and scoring a 2-point conversion. They then added 14 more points to lead 16-13 at halftime. In the second half, both teams traded touchdowns, with Doubs scoring his 3rd to retake the lead late in this one. Then a late score by George Pickens put Dallas ahead, but again, Brandon McManus tying it with a 53-yard field goal to send the game to overtime. Both teams added only field goals in OT, ending in the second highest scoring tie in NFL history. Even though they didn't lose the game, it's not a performance that Green Bay felt was up to par.
No, it sucks. You know, it doesn't feel good. It feels kind of weird. You know, it's my first time going through a tie. It feels weird to, you know, play a full game and end in a tie. So it's definitely tough. Offensively, we did some good things. I still think we left a lot out there.
Very disappointed, just overall how we performed. That's why it's so pivotal that, you know, we play complementary football, because today Jordan played like the player he was, and we let him down. We didn't live up to the expectations on defense.
It is the Packers' first time being involved in a tie since 2018 in that 40-40 scoreline. As I mentioned, second highest scoring tie in NFL history. Green Bay will look to get healthy and regroup with a bye this Sunday, and then will face Cincinnati at home on October 12th. Let's go to the Green Island tennis courts for the MVC Girls Tournament today. Flight 1 doubles runner-up goes to Toma's Lauren Stevens and Sophia Hayes. They would win their semifinal match 6-2, 6-0. The top-seeded doubles team was on Alaska's Caroline Clark and Sion Benusa, and they were on fire in their semifinal match, getting the win 6-1, 6-0. They would go on to be crowned MVC doubles champions. And in the singles championships, we are still waiting on some final results to pass along, but on Alaska's Mara Klein was in the final as she would win her semifinal match 6-1, 6-0. And Aquinas' Tenzin Nelson was victorious in her semifinal match. Nelson had the backhand and forehand working as she was the winner, 6-1, 6-2. She was the top seed as well. Hope to have those individual results for you, as well as the conference champion later at 10. Guys, a weird Packer game. Some of us made it to the end of the game. Some of us were a little tired as well. But a weird one. Just odd. Just didn't feel right.
Yeah, the clock management at the end was appalling, to say the least. It was almost like the Bears Thanksgiving game, I believe a year ago, when they almost let the entire clock run out. That was the weirdest part for me.
Yeah,
not
great
to win.
Not great.
Yeah.
Not great. We'll see how they bounce back in a couple weeks. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
All right, Greg, it's a final look at your forecast right after this.
To everyone who believes in Midwest magic, you'll always find it here at Culver's. Not that kind of magic.
Midwest Magic turns fresh, never frozen beef into a juicy butter burger.
And transforms farm fresh dairy into the creamiest custard you've ever had.
Ta-da! But it's not just what we serve, it's how we serve it.
With a warm welcome and a little extra love.
Love.
Love in every bite.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious!
Yeah!
We're an implant-focused practice. I think the advantage of a father-daughter practice is, I've been at this for 30 years now. I learned things that worked well and things that didn't work so well.
And it was fun to be able to just jump in and kind of complement that. I feel like it made both of us stronger.
You don't expect it when you walk into a dental office. You don't expect the family aspect, but when you walk into our doors, we're going to give you that.
If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
Jolivet Family Farms. There's no substitute for homegrown freshness. Get fresh and locally grown carrots, cucumbers, peppers, radishes, cabbage, cauliflower, potatoes, zucchini, dill, onions, tomatoes, blueberries, and our triple sweet corn. Find unique lawn, garden, and home decor, as well as fresh cut flowers and arrangements. Take home some cookies, breads, bars, and pies from our homemade bakery. Buy fresh, buy local. Open daily year-round. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
All right, another mild night with a few high-passing clouds, a little milder for some areas, but still mid to upper 50s this time of year. We should be in the upper 40s to low 50s for most locations. More high clouds for Tuesday and Wednesday. That's why the temp comes down just a little bit, but still, I mean, we're still in the 80s.
It's still a warm one.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.